You don't love black people. You talk it, but your actions don't show it. When a man mess up, if he has to drive 50 miles to a flower shop to get some roses, he'll get in his car, drive 50 miles to the flower shop, get the roses, and drive another 50 miles, 100 miles. Baby, here's some flowers. I love you. Do everything that he can to show I love you, I respect you, I want this. See, you talk that, so where are your flowers? Where are your actions to show that you are worthy of being trusted? You have not earned trust. You have not shown respect. You talk. In other words, you just give orders. Look, Negroes, you need to stand with us against the New World Order. Talking to us like we your slaves. Again, I don't know how many times I have to tell you, but my actions will show you you can get that move on out. Not interested. You have to show me that you can be trusted. You have to earn trust. You have to earn respect. Talk is cheap. Action speaks. And I'm not impressed by your talk. Get together against the New World Order. Let us fight against the New World Order. Don't let the New Order, the New World Order, divide us. What you mean? Don't let the New World Order divide us. When was we together? That's my question. They always come to me about let us unite against the New World Order. Don't let the New World Order divide us. When was black folks and you, when were we united? When was we together to be divided? We have always been separated. We have been separated for hundreds of years. The modern white folks that's talking all this New World Order stuff, they just now realize what we've been living for 400 years. You just now realizing that your corrupt leadership have exploited and tricked and deceived you for all this time. You just now realizing that you've been a pawn. We have always known that, have always been fighting against that. You just recently found out or realized it. You ain't nothing but a puppet for your white racist elite in power. We never was united to be separated to begin with. So if we were united, who were the individuals? Who were the organizations? What white organizations joined with the black organizations or whatever to fight against the New World Order or whatever? Or what white organizations actually did something, their agenda, their purpose is just to help black folks do a little something against their oppression. Oh, you have the NAACP. Mind you, the NAACP has given and fought for certain privileges for black folks. But if the NAACP really was an organization that really stood to help the black community, we would not be in the condition that we are in right now. It was something formed to keep the black community pacified and in a slave-like condition. That's why we're still doing the same thing we was doing over 100-some years ago. Everything that the black community, everything that the so-called black people, the descendants of slaves born in America, everything that we are, we earned it. We don't owe America nothing. We pay our taxes. Even though you deny us jobs, whatever little money we can get, we can create the little jobs, we can create our own. We earn everything ourselves. We defend this nation. And what have we gotten from white America? We've gotten raped and robbed and murdered and cheated. That's what we've gotten. Made mockery of. The so-called help. Listen, I want to make this point. Any so-called help that white folks have given the black community, you turn right around. Now see, when I help somebody, I do it out of the kindness of my heart. I'm not going to bring it back up in your face because I get mad at you. But y'all fakes, you hypocrites, y'all slicksters. You talk about affirmative action and you talk about all these little scraps that these white folks have given black folks for help. Then you turn right around and make fun of somebody because they accepted your funky scraps. Then you really believe somebody's supposed to trust you. Nobody needed your scraps. Everything you do is a benefit to pacify and benefit you, to keep us from doing for ourselves. You should have never done nothing for these black folks. And the worst thing that could have happened was integration, because once these slaves thought they was accepted, they stopped doing for themselves. Now I got me a white man. Now I got me a white woman. I'm in heaven now. I'm as close to my massa as I can get. You can unite with that type of Negro. You're not going to get anywhere with me because I'm not your slave. I don't want your advice. I don't want your help. I don't really need nothing from you. However, unlike some other black people, however, if you prove by your actions trust and prove by your actions you respect me just like I respect you, maybe we can overlook a little something and we'll think about it. But you know, once you bit by a snake, not very many people would trust a snake again. We don't have time to keep getting bit by snakes. Now, we want to bring this talk to conclusion. Just hold on a second. We just talking now. See, I have to represent the descendants of slaves born in America. Just like a lawyer, just like the lawyer of George Zimmerman, his job is to defend George Zimmerman. Regardless if Zimmerman is innocent or guilty, as a defense attorney, his job is to defend George Zimmerman. So whatever comes, out of the Zimmerman camp that's expected. He must defend his client by all means necessary. When you go to court and you represent yourself, or you hire somebody to represent you, you expect them to defend you or represent you with the best of their ability, whether you are right or wrong. They have to stand for your interests, not the interests of the defendant or the one who may be trying to prosecute you. So, as one who defends this black community, the one being one who will speak, and I represent the descendants of slaves born in America, their interests, whether they like it or not. I will stand for the interests of my ancestors who were brought here against their will. I'm going to speak in behalf of their best interests. I have to do what's best for these people. I don't care about your Sambos. I don't represent your Sambos and house Negroes and these handkerchief heads. I could care less. Let them enjoy you. Those are the ones that you need to bother. Don't bother me. Don't bother us when we tell you I'm not interested, especially when you don't have to prove you can be trusted. Move out. Move on. Leave us alone. Don't tell me about what Jesus do and all this other self-righteous holier than thou. You are not holier than thou. Ain't nothing righteous about you. You just as fake as margarine is. Let us bring this to conclusion about this new world order and be done with this once and for all, because it cannot be made more clearer than these few minutes we spent together. The new world order, what is that? Who is that? We really don't know what that is. It's some type of fictional type people. They throw some names around, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, stuff like that. Just some rich people names. And then they blame the Jews, of course. Now, when the United States of America was practicing slavery for 300 years, nobody said nothing about Jews. When the United States of America was practicing Jim Crow, nobody said nothing about Jews. And even as I speak, Jews control Hollywood, the record companies, movie, and all types of Jews control all types of businesses in America and around the world. As long as everybody making money and happy, nobody said nothing about no Jews. But now that the voices of justice are speaking out, all of a sudden, is this just the Jews? It's just the Jews. The Jews done this and the Jews doing that. The Jews want war with Iran. It's all about the Jews. All this money, all this wealth created by the Jews, y'all got it. It built America. It built this nation. None of the wealth was shared with the children of the slave. Not even to this day. In fact, you can't even go to court to fight about it. You are denied, black folks denied access to the court system to seek justice of reparations. Y'all all are criminals. See, that's the thing about it. There is no honor among thieves. So the voices of justice are speaking out in America and around the world. So cowards, all of you was involved in this. But to get some of the pressure off yourself, the Jews do this and the Jews do that. White people did this. White people did that. In fact, let me get a drink on that. In fact, the Jews are white. There is no race. There is no human species called Jew. A Jew is just a person who believes in the prophet Moses. No more, no less. There is no race called Jew. These are Caucasian people or mulattoes. But they still look like Caucasian people. Makes no difference. You use them as scapegoats. Because all of you enjoy the wealth, the prosperity, the servitude of free slave labor and the exploitation of black people, the exploitation of animal life, the destruction of this planet, seeking material greed. All of you. Caucasian people, that's the bottom line. That's the real truth. They all white people. When you are involved in a crime and the police ask you, who stole your wallet? Did you see them? You have to give the police a description. How tall was they? How wide was they? What kind of clothes was they wearing? Was they black? Was they white? Did they look Japanese? So the New World Order, let us stand up against the New World Order. Who are they? Describe them. They are all white. They are Caucasian. Say it. Why are you scared to say that the New World Order is Caucasian? Black folks have been fighting the New World Order for 400 years. You just now getting hip to it. They are Caucasian. Caucasian Americans, Caucasian British, Europeans, and Caucasian Jews. That's who they are. But you don't want to say that. Because they have the same skin color as you. And you don't want to blame white people on nothing for nothing, but they are white. That's who's doing it. Some of you don't want to blame, say, white people, because some of these folks is your mother. They might be your father, cousin, grandfather. You might be related to them in some kind of way. But the worst thing is you don't want to blame white people for nothing, but the New World Order is white, consists of white people. They Caucasian. You sound so silly to me. Trust you, and you a joke. Call a spade a spade. If the New World Order was black, I'll tell you that. They ain't personally related to me,